Let's go to the wide receiver position with my favorite sleeper. There is Elic Ayomanor, wide receiver out of Stanford. Someone that I think the more and more I watch his tape that I think could very well be a first round wide receiver in this upcoming draft. I've moved him ahead of Luther Burden in my personal rankings. I know that's hot. I know people don't like that. We can touch on Burden another day, but that's a weird tape to watch. That's some weird scheme they're running down there. Very poor offense they had there in Mizzou after some early hype. But in 2023, if you look back, again, looking back, what's why it's important to watch all the film and not just 1 year. In 2023, there was a game where Ayomanor went for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. The cornerback he was matched up against in that game, Travis Hunter, one of the top cornerbacks in the country. I know it wasn't Travis Hunter from 2024, but still Travis Hunter nonetheless. And it was another putrid 3-9 season for the Cardinal, highlighted by inconsistent quarterback play from Ashton Daniels, among others. But anyone who watched Stanford, and I remember specifically watching the first game of the year, and the play-by-play and the color could not talk enough about Elic Ayomanor. Like, you might as well have been a drinking game every time they mention this guy, right? Like, because he is someone who should have the ball in his hands, and you see his catch radius. It's amazing. I think like we did see him regress some from a big play standpoint, but he still had back-to-back seasons of 62 plus receptions and 6 touchdowns with questionable surrounding cast. I'm really excited to see what he can do this week with competent quarterback play. I've been looking on the Twitter streets. I've been looking in the YouTube streets to see if anyone's saying anything about him. I'm not seeing many people say much about him right now. So I think he's still under the radar. And I think by the time, everything's said and done, Eric, this is a guy who could be a top 36, top 40 player in the NFL draft coming out of Stanford here.
Yeah, absolutely a player that stands to benefit from showcasing his skill set outside of the context of this team that he was on last year, right? So definitely excited to see him go through this process. I mean, good accelerator, good straight line speed, really, really good at high pointing the ball and just winning those contested catch situations, right? So these are things that NFL front offices, tend to look for, right? Solid hands, creates pretty good separation. So I think he checks a lot of the boxes. And if he can get into this circumstance where he is playing with a higher caliber of talent around him, if he can, hold or advance those positions, I think he will end up on a lot of scouting teams' radars.
Man, I'll tell you what, I would put money on it. If Penn State would have somehow snuck into this guy's DMs, got him into the transfer portal, I think Penn State wins the championship. Like, this is the type of guy who, if he had a Drew Aller, could have legitimately lit up college football this past season. So I love Elic Ayomanor. He is not. Whoa, take it. I mean, if we had a better receiver,
probably not.
We beat Notre
Ohio
Dame.
State was the best team.
Okay, well,
Ohio State was the best team.
We'll at least get to the championship.
Yeah, two things can be true here, right? Like, it would be beneficial to both Penn State and to Elic Ayomanor to have linked up, but also not mean that Penn State is winning the national championship.
Yeah, I think
I'm just saying. Hey, we're making some moves out there right now in the portal, boys. It's gonna be getting better for us here in the coming months. But that's a different program.